numbers are absolutely skyrocketing down here at our southern border. CBP sources telling me the last 3 days in a row, Border Patrol has apprehended more than 7,000 illegal immigrants per day. Border Patrol simply cannot keep up with the amount of people crossing in that sector right now.
Those single adult men crossing. Take a look behind us. These guys all waiting for processing, coming in from all over the world.
Day number 2 of President Biden's executive order being in effect here at the southern border, and we are seeing no impact on illegal crossings whatsoever. Our Fox News aerial team live over Eagle Pass, where they have been getting absolutely buried in illegal crossings today.
No security check, no background check.
No security check, no background check. You're worrying about who's crossing the border?
Yes. Of course, me, because I'm like, people are not look normal.
Was a crazy few years down there. That was then, during the height of the border crisis under the Biden administration. This is now. U.S. Customs and Border Protection revealing there were just over 7,000 illegal crossings in March. That is the lowest monthly total in modern history. For more on that, we want to bring in Trump's border czar, Tom Homan. Tom, you campaigned on this. You campaigned on cleaning up the border. You made it happen. Before we get into those numbers, I do want to address, we're hearing there's supposed to be some sort of a big protest on the front lawn of your home in New York today. So big, apparently the mayor has to get involved. Fill us in. What's going on?
Well, look, they're protesting an operation up there that was conducted by HSI and Border Patrol, a criminal investigation into child predator that was arrested. And there was people, that were detained for material witness and possible victim statements. So, decisions aren't based on protests and rallies and hate mail and, people that are, concerned about the way this operation was conducted. I don't make decisions based on protests and hate mail and rallies. They can protest a vacant house all they want. No one's there. I'm down here in D.C., but it's unfortunate that they don't listen to the facts of the case. They want to protest my house. The bad thing is it's going to cause law enforcement to be tied up here for a while, because not only the local law enforcement is going to be tied up, but my own security detail. And I got Virginia State Police around my home here in Virginia 24/7 because of death threats from criminal cartels who didn't know about the New York property until, the protesters that put all the media, social media this week. So that's going to cost my security detail an extra security threat. Now the criminal cartels do know I own property in upstate New York, but we'll deal with that. But the people need to understand, decisions will be made. Decisions are made on the results of a criminal investigation and what transpires during that criminal investigation. Protests and rallies, they don't mean anything to me. So go ahead and exercise your First Amendment rights. It's not going to change the facts of the case.
Tom, there were days during the Biden administration when it was at its worst, when there were more than 10,000 illegal crossings in one single day. You guys just had 7,000 in an entire month. How'd you do it?
Well, President Trump's a game changer. President Trump promised American people he would secure the border. President Trump did in 60 days. Bill, you were down there. In 60 days, he did what Biden administration couldn't or wouldn't do in 4 years. You were down there. You and I were down there together when numbers went over 11,000 a day. We went from 11,000 a day, and right now the average daily crossings are right around 200. 11,000 to 200. But the more important number is the number of gotaways. Under Biden administration, the average number of gotaways, people that got in the country, weren't arrested, escaped in the country. We don't know who they are, where they came from, and why they're here. It was an average of 1,800 a day. The other day was 51. So, that's a significant number. The border is more secure right now than any time in American history. I started in 1984 as a Border Patrol agent. I've never seen the numbers this low.
There seems to be this recent fixation by the media and by some Democrats on trying to vet every single person you guys are deporting. I guess the question is, where was that interest in vetting when millions of people were coming across the border in the last 4 years and they were being caught and released by the millions? Where was the vetting then?
There was no vetting, and the vetting that was done, Secretary Mayorkas lied about the vetting. We've seen numerous cases where they release people in the United States saying, oh, they're properly vetted, only to find out they had serious criminal histories in foreign countries. So, and you're right, where was the concern about the 2.2 million gotaways? Where's the concern of 600% increase in sex trafficking of women and children? Where was the concern about the record number of Americans dying from fentanyl coming across the border, number of illegal aliens dying, which is record high? There's no concern of vetting back then. So we knew from day one, Bill, you and I talked about this. As soon as President Trump got in office, we started making this country safe again. They would attack the men and women of the ICE, the men and women of the Border Patrol every single day, and that's what's happening.
You guys have been urging illegal aliens to self-deport themselves, or else they can be sent to Guantanamo Bay. They can be sent to El Salvador. Do you have any early numbers? How many people have registered on that new CBP Home app to self-deport?
You know, that's been up about 3 weeks, and we got to, you know, it needs to be advertised more, especially in the Spanish language and other languages. That, as you know, we got 161 different nations that came in under Joe Biden. So we're expanding the messaging now. I think over the last 3 weeks we had about 2,500 sign up. We need a lot more than that. So we're going to just start expanding the messages, putting on all different languages so people understand if you self-deport and not get an order of deportation, then you can come back legally under another program. Whether you got a U.S. citizen child that can petition for you, whether you want to come back as a student, a visitor, or a tourist. But we have to formally deport you, and we have to take that action. You will never come back in this country under any legal program again. So we're going to try to convince these people, do the right thing, leave the nation on your own, and take advantage of the legal way to come back to this country.
Tom, we got about a minute left. Last month, you guys put in new leadership at ICE. You put in acting ICE Director Todd Lyons to give a shot in the arm to ICE. Are you happy with where arrests and deportations are at right now, and where do you want to go?
Look, Todd Lyons, I've known Todd Lyons for decades. He's one of the premier field office directors in the nation up in Boston. You worked with him many times, Bill. I know you're up there on ride-alongs. The numbers are good, and we arrested more criminal aliens in 2 months than Joe Biden did here. But we got to increase those numbers. We got a lot of criminals out there. We got over 600,000 convicted criminals running around the streets. We got to increase those numbers, so we need to add more teams, more targeting, and we're working on that now.
All right, Tom, always great to see you. Thank you for your insight, and I hope you have a great Saturday, regardless of those protesters at your house up in New York. Enjoy your day in D.C. Thanks, Tom.
All right, so thank you.
Yep.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.